Here we have a brand new RTX 3060. Why did I buy this card in 2024? Well, let's have a look and unbox this and discuss my reasons why. So, hello and welcome to Nelly's Nerd Cave. If I haven't met you before, welcome. Welcome to my channel. Today, my studio looks a little bit different. I've had a clear up, I've got a few new things. I'm using my new camera. If you'd like to follow the card above, you will find that there is an unboxing video for the camera that I'm using, which is the Sony ZV-E10. I've also got a few lights as well to make things look a little bit nicer, as well as this nice new corner desk. Hopefully, things look a little bit more of an improvement from my previous videos. So, what have I got for you today? Here in this box, I have the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3060. But wait, I hear you all cry. Did I just say that? I mean, sometimes in some of the forums that I've been on at the moment, when I'm looking for upgrades or looking for recommendations for upgrades, I tend to get that everything's like 40 series. Nobody ever mentions the cheaper cards like the 3060. And sometimes, if mentioned, you can tend to start World War III within these forums. So, I bought one. And the reason will be revealed later as to why I bought this particular card. This one is by MSI. And this is the MSI GeForce RTX 3060. This is the Ventus 2X edition with 12 gigs of GDDR. RAM. This is also overclocked by them, and most of these 30 series cards that we tend to have a lot of tend to be nowadays 8 gigabytes of VRAM. And with some of the more high-end games, they fill this amount very, very quickly. So this one I feel is very good value for the money that I paid for it. So here we have, as usual, we have the standard MSI paraphernalia that gives us our warranties, but this one cost 278 of my Great British pounds, and this I feel is a really good start to get somebody into 1440p gaming. This card is advertised as a gaming graphics card, and it does have 3 display ports 1.4, 1 HDMI port 2.1, and can apparently support 4K. Now in these videos I'm not going to test the 4K capabilities of this card, as I want to look at the best upgrade path for the least amount of money. And with that, what I did is I went onto the Steam hardware survey. So I'm going to be assuming that most people would have a 1080p display. Now the Steam hardware survey, which runs every so often, at the moment at time of filming, mentions that the primary displays for most people is currently 1920 by 1080p. You can see that from the image displayed on screen here. So back to the specifications. This card has a clock speed of 1807 MHz and is PCIe generation 4. And as with most MSI cards, you tend to find that they have these wonderful Torx fans for their cooling method. It has a nice beefy heatsink for the card. These Torx fans are the version 3s and have a few more blades than a normal case fan. They're also slightly curved down the blade itself, and this, according to MSI, is to help with the continuous air pressure, therefore allowing more air to pass through the actual heatsink itself and get rid of all the heat that you're generating from your 4K gaming. This particular card also supports MSI's Zero Frozer. For those that are uninitiated with MSI Zero Frozer, this only spins the fans once you get to a certain temperature. This helps keep the noise down. Now, it also has a maximum TDP of 170 watts, so any power supply from 550 watts and above would be perfectly adequate for this, depending on what other things you're actually running on your computer at the time. So, the big question, why did I get this particular card? And what am I going to use it for? I'm going to use this at a look at the best potential upgrade paths for people who have some of the older components and can't really afford to upgrade to some of the more modern 13th, 14th generation processors from Intel, for example. And with the analytics on Steam, I found that this was actually at the top of the list for the graphics cards most used. Again, you can see that from the image that's on screen. What got me is that the fact that the second in the list is the GTX 1650. That particular card was released in 2019 and it's still being sold in my local PC world as part of a 13th generation Intel setup. So they're still quite popular, the GTX 1650s. However, when you look at the specs of most of these AIBs out there, that particular card only has 4GB of VRAM, so potentially may not play some of the more modern games, which is what I'm going to investigate in my later video series. So, this particular 3060 would serve as a nice starting point for anyone who would like a simple, relatively cheap upgrade to their system. Like I said, this one is £278 at time of filming, and therefore a nice little upgrade for most people who could afford it. I'm going to be doing a series of videos that uses older hardware, where I'm going to compare some of this older hardware out there with some older cards such as the GTX 660, the GTX 970, which is still quite popular, the 1650 and a few others. And as time progresses and as I gain more equipment and more graphics cards, I am going to be doing more and more of these videos. So there you go, a nerd at work. I hope you found this video interesting. And please feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. If you enjoy what I do, then feel free to support me and buy me a coffee. Follow the link below in the description. And like I said, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.